All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really grim, dark, gothic fable steeped in Nietzschean philosophy. It is a chilling look at a world where the messy, vibrant chaos of life is being actively overwritten by forces of absolute emptiness. So let's see what this dark narrative is really trying to tell us.
To really wrap our heads around this story, we have to start at the Iron Tower. Picture this, a massive, towering structure just looming over an absolute void. And sitting right at the top is the ink blot of negation. It's basically acting as a cosmic scribe. From way up high on this detached throne, the ink blot looks down at the messy, vibrant pulse of organic being, and it just deliberately starts writing over it with a final decree of digital decay.
Okay, so here's the crucial point to understand about this entity's core philosophy. The ink blot isn't just some random force of nature. It acts as a Mephistophelian tempter. It's a spirit of negation that is actively seeking to bring forth evil by anchoring the entire kingdom in a creed of negation. It's systematically seducing humanity, basically offering them this highly calculated, sterile existence in exchange for their vibrant reality. And the goal? To plunge them into a state of terminal stasis and righteous nihilism.
And this brilliantly illustrates the philosophical conflict right at the heart of the story. It's a clash of two extremes. On one side, you've got the Nietzschean ideal of high noon, which is the messy, vibrant pulse of organic being, a state of ultimate, life-affirming reality. But on the exact opposite side, you have what the cosmic scribe brings, high time. And high time is the void. It's characterized by terminal stasis and digital decay. It's this incredibly grim, nihilistic battle between the chaotic warmth of existence and the sterile perfection of absolutely nothing.
So how does this actually play out? Let's look at the parables of the uncanny mirror to see the temptations of data.
What we see here is like a dark marketplace where these crazy Faustian bargains are being struck. The people honestly believe they're optimizing their existence, which, sounds a lot like our own modern obsession with algorithms, right? But they're actually trading real, messy vitality for mechanical perfection. They are literally sacrificing their blood for gears of perfect data, and the wind of life for heavy marble blocks of duty. And the true cost of all this, they just become contained, frozen, and dead.
Take the parable of the clockwork martyr, for example. In the marketplace, alchemists are making the ultimate trade. They're willingly offering up their blood just to receive gears of perfect data. They truly believe they've mastered time itself through this calculation. But when they look into the uncanny mirror, they don't see masters of time. No, they see smiling corpses trapped in an optimized eternity of nothingness. They've essentially reduced themselves to the most expensive clocks in an empty room, a space where no pulse of life can ever enter again.
Then there's the parable of the empty bellows. This one focuses on a figure called the will ne'er, or the fool of the will. Imagine a fluid spirit who just wants to remain buoyant through unburdened emptiness. But the ink blot of negation? It absolutely will not tolerate this fluid spirit. The mirror relentlessly projects marble blocks of societal duty onto his reflection. It just shows how the inkblot anchors even the most free-flowing life into its static kingdom, taking the vibrant wind of life and turning it into a frozen melody, permanently contained behind glass.
Which brings us to another terrifying aspect of this philosophy, the paralysis of perfect purity.
We see this perfectly in the parable of the Inquisitor's terror. The citizens here become completely obsessed with perfect purity, hunting relentlessly for any hidden stains. But the search totally transforms them. They turn into these paralyzed saints, just covered in scar tissue and black ink, which represents the very laws they carved into their own skin. Their hollow sockets reflect a deep-seated terror when they finally realize their obsessive self-negation gave them a life that was literally never lived at all. They just became frozen monuments to their own impossible standards.
And honestly, the so-called salvation offered in this kingdom is just as bad. Look at the parable of the pink numbness. The Pale Redeemer offers this pink syrup designed to save citizens from the burden of feeling their own tragedy. Sounds nice, right? But instead of peace, the mirror reveals a metropolis of rotten corpses. Because they were completely numb, their protective shrouds became weightless, and they were effortlessly blown into the void by the very first wild wind of reality.
Okay, now we reach the tragic climax of our tale, slaying the underground twin and the fall of the shadow of the Ubermensch.
Here is the fundamental truth the cosmic scribe is systematically trying to blot out. Sovereignty and dirt are strictly proportional. You simply cannot have the brilliant light of pure sovereignty with the messy, necessary substance of existence, the dirt. The silhouette is completely, 100% inseparable from the substance. But of course, the creed of negation convinces the people otherwise.
So that poses a really critical question.
Can the brilliant light actually survive if you destroy the shadow? In the parable of the proportional depth, the people desperately tried to preserve their brilliant light by striking out at their underground twins. But because the shadow and the substance are one and the same, by attacking their shadow, they find themselves literally piercing their own chests.
And this maps out the tragic evolution of the shadow. It starts innocently enough with a desire for pure light, but that leads to striking out at the underground twin, the darker, messy reality of existence. But this self-mutilation just leads to piercing your own chest. The ultimate takeaway here, to destroy the darkness, is to invite your own total destruction. It ends in complete domestication by the void.
Let's look at how this impacts even the fiercest forces in our next section, domesticating the truth.
Make no mistake, nobody is safe from this, not even the truth-telling monster. This beast used to roar against artificial dogmas, but now it's entirely overwritten by the Inkblot's gears of logic. Its bloody jaws are permanently silenced. It's actually forced to wear the Inquisitor's silk robes, becoming just another static monument. Notice how the cosmic scribe's logic completely domesticates the omen. The fierce, living truth is neutralized, and the sacred bread of existence just turns into digital decay.
As we bring this explainer to a close, let's look at our final critique, the sovereignty of the void.
You know, the most terrifying success of this creed is that the people weren't forced into this state. They willingly embraced it as a righteous sin. It represents the absolute final stage of psychic death through calculation. They happily traded their blood for a holy nihilism. They strive for this detached divinity, totally unaware that being so detached makes them utterly indistinguishable from the void itself. The Inkblot's work is done, simply because the people did it to themselves.
Their supposed sovereignty is really nothing more than a Faustian fist clenched around absolute nothingness, and it leaves us with this incredibly haunting thought. In our own relentless pursuit of pure, optimized data and sterile perfection, have we also traded our messy, vibrant pulse of being just to become smiling corpses trapped in a windowless room forever? It's a dark fable for sure, but one that definitely demands our reflection. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning the mirror.